I'm ready. So, I'm gonna ask you some questions. So let's start simple. Where were you at the night of the burglary?
I was watching TV, didn't step out.
So, did anyone see you at home that night?
No, I was alone. And I was facing home.
Oh, strange, because someone saw you near the crime scene.
Well, I have taken a walk, but I don't think it mattered.
So, what time was this walk? Is it before or after the burglary?
Well, I don't remember the exact time, but it was late, maybe around midnight.
Interesting, because the burglary happened at midnight. Did you notice anything unusual?
No, nothing at all. It was quiet, and I didn't see anyone.
Then how do you explain being seen talking to someone near the house that was broken into?
Oh, I bumped into an old friend. Total coincidence.
So what's the name? Can you confirm your story?
I think it was Mike. We didn't really talk long, and we're not even close.
We found fingerprints matching yours in the window at the house. Can you explain that?
Okay, fine. I was near the house earlier, but I didn't break in.
Why were you there earlier? Were you casing the house?
No, I swear. It was just helping your friend move something, and I didn't mean to get involved in something illegal.
Miss, life can make it worse. The truth can help you here. Just be honest.
Alright. I'll tell you everything, but I didn't do it alone.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lindres. Mr. Lindres, we understand that you and your wife had some financial difficulties. Can you explain those?
Yes, we have some debts. Nothing useful.
Our records indicate a significant gambling debt. Is that correct?
That's private.
It shows that you frequently went to the Lucky 7 casino quite often in the weeks leading to your wife's death. Is that true? We also have information about the withdrawal from your bank account the day before your wife's death. Can you explain that?
Yes, because I needed cash.
According to our records, you were seen arguing with your wife earlier that day. What was that about?
It was minor argument, nothing serious.
It shows here that your argument was about your gambling debts. Is that correct?
I don't talk about it.
We've spoken to your neighbor who reported hearing a loud argument coming from your house that night. She described a woman scream. How about
And she's mistaken.
that? It indicates here that you had a strained relationship with your brother, David. He mentioned a recent loan that you had failed to repay.
That's none of your business.
Our forensic team found traces of your wife's blood on your clothing. How do you explain that? We have security footage showing you purchasing a specific type of knife. The same type you used to kill your wife just days before the death. Mr. Lindres, we know a great deal about your life, your habits, and your relationships. It is clear you were involved in your wife's death. Why don't you tell us what happened? We're not here to judge you. We just want to understand what led to this turning event.
I tell you this. I got upset because she don't want to give me money. She said, I won't give you money. And boom, it's all started.
And what did you do?
I saw a knife and I stabbed her. Twice, thrice, I don't remember.
Okay, Mr. Jonas, I don't have time to play games. Jessica Reed's bakery burned out. Someone saw you at the scene. What were you doing there?
That's all.
Walking? Near a bakery you replied from a month ago. That's convenient, isn't it?
What I'm trying to say? I didn't say it far.
Then why do you have witnesses saying you were shouting at Jessica the day before the fire?
I was mad about being fired, okay? But that doesn't mean I'm very
Mad enough to seek revenge, Jonas. You seem like the one who grudges.
I don't hold grudges. I just want an apology, not this.
Oh, so you want an apology? What's next? You're gonna admit that you were near the bakery that night?
I told you, I wasn't there when it happened.
Stop lying. You found gasoline residue in your car. Can you explain that?
Gasoline? That's for my brother lawnmower.
Lawnmower? Really? At midnight? You expect me to believe that?
It wasn't at midnight.
Of course. You know what I think, Jonas? You are angry and bitter, and you want Sarah to lose everything just like you did.
That's true. I'm not a monster.
Then why do you smell like smoke in security footage the night of the fire?
Smoke? I don't smell smoke. That you make it up.
Making that up? Do you think I can waste my time on people like you? You have to tell me the truth now.
I'm telling you the truth. I didn't do it.
You had every reason to. Jessica embarrassed you, she fired you, she ruined your reputation. And you need her to obey, didn't you?
No! I just want my job back.
You're unbelievable. That doesn't add up. Why would you admit that you were near the bakery and you were with a gasoline?
Because I wasn't. You're twisting everything.
Jonas, you're wasting our time. What will happen if I prove more evidence against you? It just gets worse for you.
I don't have anything to hide. You won't find anything.
Fine, Jonas. But who do you think set the fire? Or are you going to keep pretending that you don't know anything?
I don't know. Maybe someone else who hid there.
This is your last chance. If you're not gonna tell me anything that what happened that night, you're gonna regret why you kept quiet.
I swear, I didn't do it.
Mr. Moore, thank you for staying with me today, but I know this must be difficult, but I need to understand what really happened the night Mr. Rachel was struck by a car.
I don't know anything about it. I was not even there.
I see. It's important that we must clear this up, and can you tell me where you were that evening? Take your time.
I was driving home from work, but that's all. I did not see anything.
I came home from work, understandable, but did you happen to take the main street where the accident occurred?
Yeah, I usually take me, but I did not see anyone. I swear.
Okay, I hear you, Neil, but it's easy to miss things in the road, especially after a long day. Tell me, were you tired or distracted at the time?
I was tired, but I was not distracted.
Okay, that's fair. But did something happen unusual to your drive? Something you don't think much of that time?
No, it was just a regular drive home.
We spoke to some witnesses. They mentioned a car similar to yours at the scene. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Maybe they saw a different car.
Yeah, that's possible, Neil, but we found a paint on the victim's clothing that is from your car. What could have possible happened to that?
That can be right.
Yeah, I know this is overwhelming, and I'm not here to judge, but could there be an accident happen at the time that you didn't realize?
I don't think so. I did not hit anyone.
I believe you don't want to hurt anyone, Ethan, but sometimes things happen so fast and you didn't even realize it. Is that the case here?
I don't know. Maybe I did not see her.
If you didn't see her, it's important for us to understand. What part of the road were you on?
I think I was near the crosswalk, but it was dark and the street lights were dim.
Okay, that was helpful, Neil. If it was dark and visibility were poor, it's easy to miss someone. But do you remember hearing or feeling anything unusual?
There was a bump. I thought it was a cartoon.
A bump? Will Neil think to share that, but did you stop or look back after that?
No, I was late, so I just keep going. I did not think it was anything serious.
I see, Neil. Rachel is in critical condition and your information will really hurt her family. Can you tell me anything else happened that night?
I did not mean for this to happen. I did not even see her.
I believe you, Neil. Accidents happen. What's important is setting things right. And do you remember anything that might help us? Thank you for being honest, Neil. It means a lot, and we should work together to figure things out. Okay?
Okay, I go very.
So, good morning, Mr. Manakyawan. Thank you for coming in today. Mr. Manakyawan, we're going to talk about what happened last night. You are not under arrest, but you know that we need to get your side of the story.
I don't remember much. I was drinking.
We know that you were drinking, but we also know you made some statements last night that you may not remember now.
I don't know what are you talking about.
We're talking about the incident that happened at the warehouse last night. You were seen arguing with the victim, and then, well, we know what happened next.
I don't remember. I was really drunk.
So, Mr. Manakyawan, we have a photo of the victim. So, do you recognize him?
I think so, but I don't remember anything about last night.
We understand it's difficult, Mr. Manakyawan. We're here to help you. We just need you to tell us what happened.
I don't remember. I was so drunk. I was blacked out.
So, Mr. Manakyawan, we have a witness who heard you something last night. They said you mentioned a secret and a deal gone wrong. Can you tell me about that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Manakyawan, it's important to be honest with us. We're trying to understand what happened. Tell us what you remember, even if it's just a little bit.
Sorry. I can't remember. I was so drunk. Sorry.
Okay, we understand that, and thank you for your cooperation, and we'll be in touch.
Miss Bruno, thanks for coming in. We just have to ask some questions. We understand that you are at the gallery opening the night of the murder.
Yeah, so.
We appreciate your time. Any details you remember could be so helpful.
Not really, I just look at the paintings.
So what kind of art they're showcasing?
Mostly abstract expressionism, a lot of bold colors and pictures.
I'm a fan of abstract art myself. Any particular piece that caught your eye?
There was one piece, a large canvas with the deep blues and reds. It was quite striking.
Sorry for the details in this case. Anything unusual that happened in the gallery or anything odd?
There was a man who kept looking at a specific painting, a smaller one near the entrance. He seems agitated.
Can you describe the painting or the man? Anything specific you remember?
The painting was landscape, dark and stormy. A man was tall and wearing black coat. He kept adjusting his colors.
The details are important. Anything else about the man or anyone else in the gallery?
There's a woman. She was talking on her cell phone. Near in the window, she seems to be arguing with someone.
An argument. Did you notice about anything about the man, the woman, or anyone in the gallery?
The man, he had a distinctive scars on his cheek, a faint and almost faded one.
These memorable events, many small leaders are very important. Think about that night. Do you anything else you remember or how significant it seems?
The woman with the phone, she had a small dark handbag and it looked expensive.
Anything else about the woman or the man?
The man, he has nervously chewing his lip, and the woman, her phone is kept ringing.
Anything else that stand out about that night? Anyone in the gallery?
The lighting was dim in the dark. In the backstage, it was hard to see clearly.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bermuda. Even the small details are very important. Thank you for cooperation.
So, good evening, Mr. Manakyawa. We're here today to discuss the death of your wife.
Wait.
So, let me start. So, where were you the night of 14th?
I was home.
Home alone? No witnesses?
Yes, I like being alone.
Or maybe it's just a convenient alibi that we found your prints at the scene?
You trying to friend me?
Or maybe you're just scared of what we might find out? Mr. Malakyaway, according to my research, that you are not even a hardened criminal. You are never been in a serious fight, right?
So,
So the guy sitting here in front of me is not the decent guy. So what happened last night?
it was not like that.
Self-defense? Something you intended?
It was an accident. I didn't mean to.
Think about it. The real you wouldn't let this ruin your life.
He attacked me. I don't mean to kill him.
Okay, tell me everything. What has happened? Start from the very beginning.
We were arguing about money. He owed me a lot. He kept putting me off. He get really angry. And then he laughed at me. I pushed him back. I didn't mean to hurt him that badly. I panicked.
Okay, then what happened?
He fell hurts, was hit to the wall. I did not know what to do. I just froze. I should have called for help.
And after that, what did you do?
I cleaned up a bite. I was scared. I don't know what else to do. I just wanted to go away.
What exactly did you clean up?
The blood, mostly. I used some towels from the kitchen. I tried to wipe up as much as I could. I was in a panic. I didn't think straight.
And after cleaning up, what did you do to the victim?
I panicked. I didn't want anyone to find him like that, so I moved him. I carried him into the bedroom and covered him with a blanket. I know it was stupid. I just wanted to hide him.
Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for your cooperation.
Mr. Matayaway, we know you are business partners with Mr. Roberts. We're here today to discuss his death.
Yes, we are partners.
Can you describe your relationship with Mr. Roberts and how would you characterize it?
It was complicated. We had our disagreements, but we were also friends in a way.
What kind of disagreements?
Mostly about money, dividing profits, investments, things like that.
Were these disagreements significant or it escalates through arguments?
We argue, sure, but it was business, nothing serious.
But where were you on nights of Mr. Roberts' death?
At home, I was alone.
Can you describe your evening in detail? What did you do?
I had dinner, watched some TV, went to bed early.
Okay, you have evidence placing you near Robert's house around the time of his death. Can you explain that?
I don't know what that possible.
Mr. Johnson, we know that Mr. Robert was killed with a knife. Do you happen to have any, do you happen to own some knives?
Yes, I have a few kitchen knives.
Have you ever had any confrontations with Mr. Robert?
No, never.
Mr. Johnson, we're here not to trick you, but we want to understand what happened on the night Mr. Robert was dead. Can you tell us the truth about your involvement in Robert's case?
Mr. Andres, thank you for coming in. We understand you were at the cafe across the street from the victim's apartment building around the time of the homicide.
Yes, I was. I was meeting a friend for cooking.
So, did you see anything unusual that evening?
Yes, I did. I saw a man leaving the building. He thought it's wearing a dark cloth.
Okay. Can you describe the man in the more detail?
He was quite tall, maybe 6'2" or 6'3". He had dark hair and gun face. He seemed hurry.
Did you notice anything else about him?
He was carrying a dark colored bag. It wasn't very large, but its look heavy.
Did you see him get in the car or leave on foot?
He lived on foot. He walked quickly and towards a park.
What time approximately did you see this man leave the building?
It was around 9:15 p.m. and I remember because my friend was running late, and I checked my watch.
Okay. Did you notice anything else unusual in the vicinity of the park or building?
There was a car parked across the street. He was headed light, but the engine wasn't running and seems good.
Can you describe the car?
It was dark colored sedan, possibly black or blue. It didn't give a good look or a make or model.
Did you see anyone else in the area at that time?
No, not really. You see, anyone else in the area at the same time.
Okay, Mr. Andres, thank you for your cooperation. Your information is very helpful to our investigation.
Miss Shira, thank you for coming in. I understand you were at the victim's apartment building around the time of the homicide.
Oh yes, detective, it was quite a scene. You know what, when I was walking my dog, Miss Flavia the third, she was the sweetest dog, and
Miss Shira, let's focus on what you saw at the apartment building. Did you see anything unusual?
unusual. Well, there was this guy who was tall, skinny, and just wearing a blue jacket. But then I saw Mrs. Higgins and she was feeding her cat, and she was.
Let's stick to the man in the black jacket. Can you describe him in more detail?
Oh yes, the jacket. It was really a nice jacket. It really reminds me of one of Benefits. He was very kind, and one of his my grandma is. Yeah, he was kind.
Miss Shira, can you describe the man's face? Any distinguished features?
His face is just something on his face, a little stubble. And he reminds me of my Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe was so nice. He was always has basic eyes.
Let's focus on the man's face. Did he have any scars or tattoos?
Scars, tattoos? No, I don't think so. Though, speaking of tattoos, I once saw a tattoo man on a circus, and he was just
Miss Shira, did you see this man enter or leave the apartment quickly?
I think he was leaving, but then I saw this delivery guy, I just, wow, he's a big pizza boy, and it made me happy.
time did you see this man leave the school?
Time almost something 8:30 or 8:45. And but then earlier I had to buy food for my class and
Miss Shira, did you notice anything else about the man, like a bag or anything he was carrying?
a bag or something. No, I don't think so. But wait a minute, I think I saw him carrying a small package, wrapped in a brown bag, I think. I suppose.
Can you describe this package, size, shape, anything you remember?
It was rectangular, maybe it was this big, and I don't remember the size, but it was this big, and yeah, basically the time I had on a Christmas party. Yeah, so that's it.
Miss Shira, thank you for your cooperation. We will be in touch if you need any further information. Thank you so much.